right, it's your boy Masta B here, live from the MMB Radio studios for the MMB Radio podcast, where no topic is too big or too small. We talk about them all. And on the phone lines right now, I want to welcome in a woman who has pretty much seen and done it all in the adult business, Miss Raquel Sultra. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing amazing tonight. Thank you for taking some time to talk to us about
Of course. Always for you.
About your career. We're going to talk about all kinds of great stuff tonight. For people who are not aware of who you are, give us a quick bio, like your little Twitter bio. Not exactly your Twitter bio, but the little short bio of like who you are.
Okay, well, I was originally a swimwear and fitness model, and I did that for about 15 years, and then I got offered to start doing Playboy-style shoots, so I started doing those, and been divorced 3 years, and then I started getting offers to do boy-girl work, so I decided, what the hell, might as well try it. Got nothing to lose now, right? So I tried it, and I didn't like it that much the first one. It wasn't too much fun. Because I was a fitness chick, the guy just laid there and made me do all the work for 4 hours. Every position possible. And he just laying there with a big smile on his face, and I was worn out. I don't think I worked out for like 2 or 3 weeks. I was so tired. I'm not a cardio person. I lift weights. I don't do cardio. But anyway, so, it wasn't fun. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it again, because I just don't believe that, the big ones are like this. This was a Texan porn site, that I did my first one. So then I got offers to go out to L.A., so I went out there and did it. And I have been in the adult industry for about 9 months now, and it's going really well. I've got my own toy line and Shuffle Reality Kings with Chad White, and it's one of their number one top sellers. I'm on Asiani Iron, Asiani.com, POVWars.com, CreamPieTraining.com. I did 3 DVDs for Jody West with Forbidden Fruit Films, and those were 2 of them were girls. That was my first time to be with a girl. And then about 45 minutes later, I got to be with another girl. And it was actually kind of fun. It was
so
a lot
you've
easier.
done a lot in 9 months. I mean...
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, there's a lot more, too. And I'm about to go back out to L.A. I've just been pushing it.
Now, we'll kind of start from the beginning. When most people see you, or they like to label you as the MILF or cougar or, the older stateswoman, you are older. So, this is like you didn't start getting into this business 9 months ago at the, ripe age of, 18 years old. After doing fitness modeling and all that Playboy stuff, did you think that was going to be an issue when you got into doing the adult stuff? Did you think, maybe this is, I'm not cut out for this? Or did you kind of know from an earlier time that, this is something that I eventually want to do?
No, it was something that I was never crossed my mind, adamant that is not anything that I would have ever done. And you know what? Being married 14 years and then going through a divorce, it really changes your aspect on life. You tend not to be quite the tight ass anymore. I was a little bit more on the uptight side, I guess. And part of it was just, a big F you to him, because he had always wanted me to do porn, because I was always getting offers for it as a mainstream model. They're just constantly asking. I was a Coors print model and a Hawaiian Tropics print model, and, I got offers constantly, and I always said no, because I was married. But after divorce, then since he wanted me to do it so bad, I just decided to go ahead and do it. But then, you know what, being married and stuff, I never got to travel, didn't really go out, didn't do much of anything, and I kind of feel like I missed out on 14 years of my life. So this is more than just, going and doing porn. It was getting to travel, getting to meet new people, getting to go places I hadn't been before, becoming completely independent again, going to flying to strange cities by myself, getting myself to hotels, staying there for 2 weeks by myself, and being fine with it. it either strengthens your resolve or it will break you. And I think a lot of these girls that are 18 and 19 years old, that's why you see them in the industry for 6 to 9 months, and then they're out. First of all, they don't educate themselves. They're not mentally mature enough, most of them, to go and find out about the industry before they just jump in and start doing things, you know. What works, what doesn't work, why should you not just jump in and do DP, interracial, gangbangs? You go out there and you just do it all. In 9 months, you're shot out. Nobody wants to shoot you anymore. You've already been shot for everything. You're done. Your career's over. And that's what happens to these girls. I did not do that. I came in and asked questions and talked to producers and talked to other talent. I spoke to, Del DeBone reached out to me online just as a friend and a kind gesture, and I just picked his brain, and he told me a lot. And there's a lot of people that try and push you to have an agent. I think maybe having an agent is good for somebody who is 18, 19, 20 years old, knows nothing about the industry, doesn't really know or how to go about educating themselves or finding out about it. Then they probably need an agent. I don't. And I don't think most mature women do, because no one's ever going to work as hard as you are for your own career. And when you can go in and you educate yourself about what to do and what not to do and why not to do it, then you really don't need an agent. Then it's more just networking. And, that just comes from being in business, for so many years. You're only as good as the team you build around yourself. And the team I have tried to build is a team of good friends that are directors, producers, videographers, male talent, female talent, ex-famous porn stars. And, it's a culmination of everything they all know, telling me what's the right path to go down and what's not. And I think, that's why so many people are so surprised, and producers, that I'm shooting the way I'm shooting, and I am shooting for all the top sites, and I am very well known, and I'm fortunate that I'm classified as high as I am, especially so quickly. But, it's just that drive and not being like everybody else, Don't go dye your hair black and get tattoos all over your body because you look like everybody else, just like before everybody else was platinum blonde and gigantic tits, It's be your own individual, stand out, and stick to your no list. Don't decide, okay, well, here I'm at the shoot, and I said I didn't ever want to do a DP. Well, they're going to give me $500 more. Well, I could really use $500, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. No, stay to your no list. Stick to your guns.
Now a couple of things.
Go further.
I want to note on that. So, you said you were married for 14 years, and the husband at the time, he always wanted you to kind of get into it. Did you have like a porn collection? Did you actively watch porn when you were still doing fitness modeling? Like how in depth? Because you mentioned that you kind of like educated yourself, but you've only been in the business 9 months. So I'm assuming you had a prior, questions or connections to the business before getting into it.
Yeah, I didn't. I've never really been a porn watcher too much, and that goes back to I was never really kind of comfortable with myself, and a little bit uptight. I wasn't as comfortable with my own body because I guess probably because I didn't watch porn. I didn't know what other girls looked like. I didn't know if everything was normal or if there was something odd or if it, you have those insecurities, especially when you haven't really seen another woman naked, down there. And probably if I would have watched porn during my marriage, it may have turned out where my marriage might have been okay, to be honest with you.
Now
because I wouldn't have been so tight.
But you also mentioned,
But
you said it was like a big, like, fuck you to him when you divorced him to get into porn. But
yeah.
I mean, that's something that you really have to think about getting into. And I believe we've had a lot of guests on the podcast, and we love all of our adult film star guests, and we don't want to talk them out of making their decision to get into porn. But you were doing fitness modeling, and you were doing print modeling, and you had a successful career going with that. So I mean,
Oh,
there had to be something else other than just sticking it to your ex-husband that got you into porn, because there's no
yes.
coming back from it.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. I got offered constantly throughout the last 15, 16 years of modeling. I always got offers to do shoots, to do girl, solos, boy, girls, and I kept turning them down and kept turning them down. A lot of it was, when I was married, I was kind of stuck at home, or else just, working in the cleaning company I had started, and there was just no life. I just wore jeans and boots and hardly had any makeup on, never got to fix my hair up, never got to wear dresses, never got to be what I felt like was desirable and pretty anymore. And so, whenever I was started just doing the modeling again, you don't feel that pretty when you're just in swimwear modeling or whatever. It's just, and a lot of the photographers are creeps who try to rape you. It's a nightmare, and not out in the big professional ones, but you get in the smaller ones, in Texas and stuff like that. Yeah, you have a lot of problems. But whenever I got offered to go to LA and shoot for FTV films, and then of course Asiani wanted me to go out to Arizona and shoot, and then Boba and Girls wanted me to shoot at the same time. It just like took on fire, and it went from 14 years of, literally never going anywhere, not going on vacations, not leaving the state, not leaving the city, unless it was just to go over to another town to work, 30 minutes away. It went from that to 2 to 3 weeks of going to LA, San Diego, Arizona, Vegas, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. And it was freeing. And I had been offered so many times that, I'd had about 15 years to really think about it. And I just kind of snapped out of it, and I decided, you know what? I'm not going to live my life and think, you know what? I wish I would have just tried that. Why didn't I just try that, And that's the attitude. I changed my attitude where I'm just going to try it. And I'm not going to be inhibited anymore, I'm going to go and, not be uptight. I'll try anal sex. I'm going to do that. The things that I was like, for some reason was a no, is like, now I'm like, I'll don't mind walking around naked at these shoots. It doesn't bother me at all.
So porn basically allowed you to, live your life. Like, it gave you like an epiphany to say, this is, what I'm all missing out on, and porn allowed you to experience all that?
It gave me more than, I would say, my life back. It gave me a life that I didn't know existed. I have met the most intelligent, the kindest people I've ever met in my life since I started in the adult industry. There are 90% of the people I have met are absolutely amazing people. And from all over, not just the U.S., but the world. Talent contacts me from all sorts of places and producers. And they're wonderful people. It seems like people in the adult industry are the happiest people I've ever been around. They're not uptight. They're not judgmental. They're not stuck in this one rut over and over, same day thing. They're always experiencing something new. They say yes. They say no. They work for themselves. They seem to be really happy people and really intelligent people too. And before I started in this industry, you know what? When I was dating, I never would have asked a guy, well, did you have an STD test within the last 2 weeks? Did it include HIV and everything? I would have never done that. Now, there's absolutely no way I would have sexual relationships outside of shooting and not make a guy give me a test from talent testing to see it on an email, and it would have to be within 2 weeks. Being in the industry is so much safer from STDs and AIDS and anything than being in college at UT.
Now, do you think that's the biggest misconception of the business, is that people think that all you guys do is sleep around all day and that, you know, you do drugs and have diseases, and you're saying no, that it's really a lot probably safer and more wholesome, for, you know, lack of better wording, to live the adult film life than it is to be in a real normal promiscuous lifestyle.
Well, and that's on multiple levels. I mean, being an American, what is considered normal now is pretty much obesity. Well, you're not going to find a whole lot of that, of anybody overweight in porn. People have to work on themselves. On top of it, they make sure that they're not transferring diseases. And I'm sorry, but if you're in the porn industry, that doesn't mean that you are out having sex every single day with 15 different people. You shoot 2-3 times a week. They're not all boy-girls, and a lot of them aren't ever more than just a boy-girl. They're not orgies or anything. But even if they are, people are tested, which is a whole lot safer and a more intelligent way to go about things. I've found that, you know, in the porn industry, that there's a lot of rules and regulations, too. They don't allow, you know, most of these sites and stuff, really gross stuff, or any blood or being abused or raping women and stuff like that. And you know what? I got to say, it's a lot better than Cartoon Network after 10 o'clock at night. That is the kind of stuff that is horrible for our society. But looking at the porn industry, yes, it opened up my eyes. Completely different. I realized how ignorant I was before I started in the industry. I did probably put my nose down at the girls before and thought, oh, she's just a slut, or, you know, she's probably got daddy issues, those kind of things. And now that I actually opened up my mind and my eyes and got to know more about the industry without sitting back and judging it, knowing nothing at all, I realized how ignorant I was and how much safer, smarter, and healthier porn is.
Now, in 9 months, I mean, you've done a lot of different things, and you worked with a lot of different companies, big names, stars. But you mentioned earlier about how some of these young girls, they kind of just shoot everything, all their different types of content in 9 months, and then their career is over. Now, what is some of the things that you have done, as, I guess, like as category, scene type wise, that you have done and stuff you still want to do that you haven't done yet?
Oh my gosh, I still have 85-90% left that I have not done on film yet. You know, if you want to go in this industry and you want to survive for 5 years or longer, you've got to be strategic about it. You've got to think about it. And the girls that you see that have been in the industry, or guys a long time, they didn't run out and just do everything. They were actually really smart about it. So I have done about 30 solos, and that's how I started out. That and doing just, you know, still pics, just like Playboy style, you know. And then I did I think 2 boy girls, just basic boy girls, and them just coming on my tits, because everybody always likes to come on my tits. I guess it's because I've got nice tits or something. I don't know. What do you think?
I like them. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'm not the type of person to say, you know, get those titties out of my face unless they're man boobs. You know, if you got boobs in my face, then, you know, then those are the type of tits I don't like.
Okay, well, judging from my pictures, would you rather me turn around and you come on my ass, or would you rather me turn around and come on my tits?
I would flip a coin and be happy with the outcome either way. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say, damn it, I really wanted to come on her ass, and, you know, the bitch wanted to come on her tits instead. But was there things that you did in the business that you never have done in your personal life that you've done for the first time in the business? I'm assuming there was a lot that you
Oh my gosh,
done
you know what? I can't believe this. I haven't told anybody this in public. And you're probably not going to believe me, but there's no reason for me to lie. So what would be the point of it, right? But still, I know people aren't going to believe me.
That's why we love the exclusives here on MMB Radio.
Okay, well, and it's kind of embarrassing to say, but this probably relates to why I was not comfortable with myself. I'm a little tight. My husband was number 6 of all the guys I'd ever been with sexually in my entire life. Mm-hmm. So after 14 years of marriage, and he was number 6, well, I went and did a couple of boy girls after I'd done the solos, and I had shot for Asiani Iron, and they wanted me to come back and shoot for Asiani.com because my branding had blown up so big that they wanted me on that site. So then he asked me to do POV Wars. And that's 5 guys, but it's one at a time. And it's one in the room. And then when he has come on a specific spot, he leaves the room, and then the other guy comes in. Okay, well, that was 5 guys. That right there, just that shoot almost doubled my entire life's amount of guys. And then the next day, I had talked to him, and they wanted me to do my glory hole fetish scene one, and I just didn't want a bunch of guys. I don't want a bunch of strange guys come in my mouth, and I don't even know their name. So he had started another site called gangbangcreampietraining.com. And the thing about it is, it was not DP. The guy, he makes sure that the guys are very respectful, and it's still one at a time. So it's not, 7 or more is actually technically a gangbang by the Adult Film Association. So that's not really technically a gangbang. But anyway, normally gangbang is a bunch of guys, being disrespectful, a little humiliating in most people's minds, DPing, throat fucking, that kind of thing. It wasn't any of that, He made the guys be really nice, and they just kind of went around in a circle, one after the other.
Now,
that one was tough for me.
You were with your husband for 14 years, and, did he do any of these type of things, you know what I mean? Like, come on your tits, come in your mouth, that type of thing. And if he didn't, was this the first time you were experiencing guys doing this? And what was your initial reaction when this happened? Like, were you kind of like scared, nervous? Kind of take us through the emotions that you were going through.
For the gangbang cream pie, since all 5 guys were in the room right around me, I was extremely, extremely nervous. It was very intense for me, and they were super nice to me, and Buzz Asiani made sure that I was okay throughout the whole thing, but he had to edit out a few parts where I was talking, going, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, just, I was having a hard time with it because I'd never been in bed or even any kind of kissing 2 guys at the same time. And now here's 5 guys around me, and they're grabbing me everywhere and touching me. And it was too much too fast for me. And I'm glad if I was going to do it for anybody, I did it for Asiani because they kept it under great control. But I cried for about 4 hours after that shoot. It took me a little while to pull myself together. And not because anybody had done anything wrong, but it was just way too much, too fast for me. I was trying so hard to change and be more freeing and less uptight. And you know what? Be me. I had never even considered what I wanted or liked or desired sexually in my entire life. I'd never even thought about it until after I divorced. And then about a year or 2 after I divorced, I started thinking about, people ask you, guys ask you, what is your fantasy? Well, I didn't have any. I didn't think about myself. All I thought about was trying to please my husband. And now, things are different, and I am thinking about myself. It hasn't changed that I still try and put other people before me and care about their feelings. But whenever it comes to sex and stuff like that, being in porn has made my life happier, better, less stressful, less uptight, and I have more real friends people in the industry are real because everything out is put out there about them. You know, there's no hiding when you're a porn star. Anything you do or don't do is put out all over media and online. So you might as well just be honest. So I guess I meet the most honest, truthful people, and they seem to be a hell of a lot happier. And before I had judged negatively of them, and now put next to anybody else, I would rather be in a room full of porn stars than half of my extended family, to be honest with you. I'd rather spend Christmas with them. They are good people, and they're kind, and I'm just thankful because I actually like my life now. And I haven't said that in probably 20 years.
Now, what is something you still look forward to doing? Like, you obviously will probably have, you mentioned you have these different desires and you didn't get a chance to really think about what it is sexually you want to do. But now that you've, kind of been in it for 9 months, you kind of got your feet wet and you know what to expect and you kind of know what the business is about. What is something that you're like, this is on my bucket list, that this is something I really want to experience, maybe even personally in the business or for, business purposes?
Anything that I want to really try and explore that I think of on an emotional level like that is going to be personal, because otherwise, I'm just in business mode. And business mode is, I've done 2 girls, and I want to do more. And I liked them. They were fun.
This is your first time with girls when you were doing this? The first time?
Yeah, it's the very first time. Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I think I'm probably pretty good because the first girl I got to tap that ass or be with was Jody West. Not a lot of girls can say that.
Not a lot of guys can say that.
I know, right? Exactly. I'm like, wow, I'm pretty good. I'm going to keep this up. And then the next one, 45 minutes later, was Luscious Gia. And she's fabulous. She's fabulous. She's a fabulous actress. She's got a nice ass and big, round, plump, fake titty. I kind of started liking girls a little bit, to be honest with you, after that.
Did you have an attraction to women before this, or was this like...
No. I mean, when you're in college and stuff, you'll kiss your friend in front of a bunch of guys just to kind of play with them or tease with them. But I know I would have never had wanted to go down on a girl. I thought it would be gross and weird and maybe a little smelly, to be honest with you. And I'm sorry, but with Jody West and Luscious Gia, it was actually fun. They smelled and tasted great, and I would go down on them again anytime.
So you definitely would consider yourself more the aggressor when it comes to women, or?
With women, I guess I'm always going to be the dominant, but I've always been the dominant in business life. So I want a man that's going to take control of me in personal life. And I haven't really found that yet because I don't date. I don't have sex outside the industry because I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I don't want to live here anymore. My ex is here. I'm 8th-generation Texan. I want to live in Vegas, Florida, or freaking California, Arizona.
Anywhere in San Antonio.
And, I haven't done anal on film yet, but I like anal in my personal life. I didn't before, but the last 2 years of my 14-year marriage, I could feel things were going south. So I decided to try and loosen up, and literally, and make myself try and open up and enjoy it. And then I got where I really liked it. So now I'm kind of missing anal sex because I don't have a boyfriend, damn it.
So now these producers are going to start, emailing you and sending you tweets, and, they're going to try to want to book you for your first on-camera anal scene.
Well, and that's the other thing. I'm not sure, really, if there's a certain company I should try and do my first anal for. I know I probably don't want it to be the Scores Group because their guys, they measure them, and they have to be 10 inches or bigger just to be a male talent there. And I don't want that size of my ass. Let's go like 7, 8 inches. I'm good.
So the little itty bitty,
I don't want a
tiny
12-inch cock up my ass ever.
So we have fans who were sending in questions this week, and a lot of these questions, I'm not quoting them directly, but kind of jotted some of them down. But the first one I wanted to really shout the guy out because he wanted to make it known. He goes by Sweet Pea. He says, she knows who I am. I'm Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, I'll take your word for it that she knows who Sweet Pea is. But Sweet Pea wanted to know, is there any talent that you hope to have worked with that you haven't worked with yet? Do you like have a special actor or actress that you're like, damn, I really want to work with X, and I really want to do this with such and such?
Well, you know what? I don't know him, and I haven't run across him yet, which is surprising because pretty much everybody knows who I am now because I talk to everybody. I talk a lot, and I make friends with everybody. But there's a guy I think named Derek Pierce, who's a pretty buff guy. Is that right? Is it Pierce or Pearson?
I believe it's Pearson.
Yeah, I've seen him on some porn, and it looks like he can lay it down pretty good. I wouldn't mind trying to be with him. As far as, just kind of going through a list, no, not so much, because you can't tell a lot by just watching a porn. You can't tell if, his penis is going to be hitting my G-spot just right. I don't know if we're going to be in the same rhythm. I can't tell if I'm taller than him, just from looking at this film. So a lot of it is just whenever you get to a shoot, you kind of have that, you have those sparks, you kind of have that chemistry, and that's when you have a really good shoot. I think that's why, Chad White and my Reality Kings turned out so good, because he's into the fitness look. His girlfriend is a fitness chick, and he talked about her the whole time, and he was like, "Oh, your physiques look a lot alike," and so I think that helped with that chemistry. And he was really nice and outgoing, and he talked as much as I do, so we got along. We just got along good as people, And I guess I reminded him of his gorgeous girlfriend, so that helped too. So there's a lot of factors that can help it, but. Some guys actually are a little big and they hurt girls. And so I learned, if I I tell them beforehand, if I tap you on the leg twice, it's going to be on the opposite side of the camera. You're hurting me. Pull out. Don't go in so deep. Because I got caught underneath a guy that was pretty big, and I was trying to squeal and get away. And we were filming, and I didn't want to shut down production or make them stop and edit it. So when I tried to pull away, he held me down and started slamming into me harder, because that's what got him off. And I was just about to die for a couple of days. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. So I learned a lesson there. Cap them. But then, you get some guys that are, gigantic. I worked with Alex Legend. And that guy is like 12 inches and thick, huge. I was scared to death. I was sweating. It took like 10 minutes before we could even start filming for him to get it in. It was so big. But he never once hurt me. He knows how to use it. He's empathetic. He's very careful. And, boy, he made me have a huge orgasm. And I was terrified at first. But then you get with these other guys that they're just about average, and they can wind up hurting you, or, it just can suck. It sucks whenever a guy just lays on his back and wants the girl to do all the work. I'm fine doing it sometimes, but just because the girl's in fitness, that doesn't mean the guy should be a lazy ass and just lay there and let her fuck him. Or just because she's better at it than him, he shouldn't just lay there. I spent the last 2 years of my marriage on top every single time. I'm not going to name any names, but don't be a lazy motherfucker and just lay there because she's better at sex than you. Mm-hmm. Try. Ask her for some pointers.
Now, one of the things I mentioned when we first started the podcast in the interview, you're labeled as a MILF, a cougar. What is your thought process when that comes about? Do you enjoy being labeled that, or do you care? Do you
No, I don't like being labeled. I think it's very restrictive on anybody in their career. At first, I wasn't. At first, I was being labeled as muscular, fit, workout person, things like that. So I actually declined several shoots that were geared towards girls wrestling or any kind of fitness posing or seen in a gym. I turned them down because, I would have loved to have the money. It was a great shoot, but I knew I would have gotten stuck in this niche. If I came out of the racetrack when the gates open and the first 5 scenes I do are all revolved around muscles, fitness, working out, everybody's not going to want to shoot me. I'm already going to have been labeled as that niche. That's my niche. So I was very careful and strategic not to do anything else other than Asiani Iron to not get stuck there. So then I did a scores group, and then I think I got labeled as a MILF there, even though I did shoot. And the other thing is we take parts. People don't get this. A lot of this is acting. That's not really my age. People always ask me this. Well, would you just tell the truth? I see here that you're this age, and I see here that you're that age. And I said, I'm not lying. I took a part, and for that scene, they wanted somebody to be 41. On this scene, they wanted somebody to be 34. That doesn't make me a liar. I'm doing a part for a scene, and it's not our real life. I don't go to bars and pick up 19-year-old boys every Friday night.
You could,
because I said that in a scene. I said that in a scene that was a part for a scene.
Uh-huh.
And, now I'm getting dick pics from 19-year-old boys left and right.
Well, you're going to get dick pics from any guy at any age. I think guys, they don't think. They just send dick pics no matter what age. But at what age does the business consider you MILF or a cougar? Like, is there a cutoff age where you no longer consider just an adult film star, that you have to be considered a MILF or you have to be considered a cougar at a certain point?
No, I mean, the 30 solos I did, I was never considered a MILF. When I shot for Asiani Art, I wasn't considered a MILF. When I shot for Asiani, I wasn't considered a MILF. It wasn't until, I think the first time I was considered a MILF was when I shot for FTV Films. And that's because they were trying to start a new site, FTV MILF. And, I go back and forth. I don't think anybody should be labeled, just because the girl's got little bitty titties and black hair doesn't mean that she's part of the itty bitty titty committee for the rest of her life and she can only shoot for that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
She should be able to just shoot as a porn star that was unlucky in the tit department.
Who hasn't quite gotten the checks, the royalties yet to enhance that area, in due time.
Yeah, those are the girls that you need 2 IDs on.
This doesn't look like you. These weren't here before. So what is something that you would not do in this business? I mean, I know you seem like you have a pretty open mind and you think things through, so you don't just jump into any type of scene. But what is something that you that you don't have to think about, you're not doing?
No, I'm positive because, look, I'm the one that has to go in and do my career, and I'm going to do it the best that I can. If I do not feel like I can go in and shoot something at the best of my ability because it's not attractive to me personally, I'm not going to do it. I'm not ever going to do interracial. Okay. It's nothing personal. I've got plenty of black friends out there, but you know what? I get this all the time. All money's green. What's your problem, Yach? Are you a racist, mofo? Well, you know what? If you want to call me a racist, go ahead. Call me a racist. I don't care. I'm not a racist. I just prefer to do a good shoot with somebody I'm attracted to. And I'm not interested in doing interracial because it doesn't appeal to me, and I'm not going to do a bad shoot just because people on social media want to try and bully me into it. I'm probably never, ever going to do a gangbang because what I did wasn't even a gangbang, but it was, a little similar. It was actually considered a train, and that was too intense for me. I'm not going to do any kind of pee stuff, no fecal matter. I will do, parts where, if they want me to, where I'm a dom, but I'm not going to actually ball bust or hurt somebody like that. You know, that doesn't appeal to me. Actually, doing something that really hurts somebody or physically damaging them, you know what? Put my ex up there and I'll smack him right across the face. But I'm still not going to fucking put my 6-inch stiletto heel in his nut. Mm-hmm. Even though the world would probably be a better place if I did, I'm still not going to do it. I don't want to see somebody in pain like that. That doesn't appeal to me. So therefore, it's not going to be a good shot. But if you want me to go in and, you know, throw some young little girl around and spank her ass and, you know, strip her clothes off of her and have my way with her, fuck yeah, I'll do that. You know, that's fun. That's playful, fun stuff, you know?
So basically, if you're not feeling it, like, I guess, emotionally, or, you know, like, you're not really connected to the scene, it's not something you're interested in doing.
No, because I don't want to go in and have a bad scene, because you have one bad scene, it never goes away. It's out there forever. You have one bad photograph, it's out there forever. You cannot make it go away, no matter how hard you try. So I don't want to shoot a bad scene. It's my career, it's my body, it's my choice, and if people don't like my personal preference, they can keep it the fuck to themselves. Because if they want to go drink Mountain Dew and eat donuts every day, I'm not going to sit there and, you know, judge them and talk bad about them for liking Mountain Dew and donuts. You should be healthy. It's just, you know, let everybody live their own life. Quit trying to push people to do things that they're not comfortable with, or they're not attracted to, or they just don't want to do, you know?
Now, a lot of adult stars, one of their marketing ploys or strategies, or whatever you want to call it, is having a big presence on social media. Where can people find you at on Twitter, Instagram, all those different outlets?
They can find me on Twitter. It's at Raquel Sultra. Instagram is Raquel Sultra. There's a new website builder that's building up my website. I don't know, it could already be up. I'm not sure. They're doing a YouTube channel. I think they just did a Facebook. Somebody told me it was up, and it's just under Raquel Sultra. I'm the only Raquel Sultra in the world, so if you want to find anything on me, you know, it's easy. Just Google me and Raquel Sultra, because there's nobody else. You know, I came up with the name on my own, and there's not another name similar, so it's pretty easy to find me anywhere, everywhere, all over the place. And I'm about to go to LA for another 2 weeks for a lot of shooting, which I'm actually excited about. Jules Jaden just called me yesterday, and she and I are going to do as many shoots as we can squeeze into one day together. And then I'm going to be shooting for Doubles Films, several shoots, and I'm also going to be shooting for Barrett Blade, which I'm excited about because I was supposed to shoot for him like 4 months ago, and I had caught a cold. Wasn't anything bad, but I had to cancel the shoot because I didn't want to get anybody sick. But they were really nice about it, and so now I'm going to go out there and do a bigger scene.
Yeah, we don't want a scene where you're getting banged and, you know, you got a runny nose and snot is flying all over the lens of the camera.
Well, you know what?
Coughing and sneezing.
All the civilians, that wouldn't be a runny nose. That would be a porn star doing coke because, you know, that's the labelization we all get, right? Mm. She can't be sick and just have a runny nose. She's got to be doing drugs. I hate the labels. You know, I really do. And, you know, I defend a lot of girls on social media because I just get tired of it.
Now, what else would you want the fans to know before you leave? Like, what is something that you want to, your final message for them before you get out?
Okay, you know, fans, I love you. My career is built on you. I really do appreciate all your support. If you don't have something nice to say, or I look like a girl that wouldn't go out with you in high school, or maybe you just think I'm a bitch because you just don't like my pictures. Maybe you don't like looking at her. Doesn't matter. Don't go leave mean comments on girls' pictures when they're putting themselves out there butt-ass naked for the whole world to see, and also having sex. That takes some courage. So if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all, especially to my friends in the industry that are out there putting it out there for everybody. And the other thing is, guys, I'm somebody's daughter. I'm somebody's sister. And A lot of these girls are somebody's mother. Would you be okay with a bunch of guys sending your sister or your mother messages on Twitter saying you want to take that big cock and ram it right up her fucking ass and stretch her out so bad till, she just orgasms everywhere? No, that would piss you off. Don't do it to us. We don't like it. It's disrespectful and it's rude. If you want us to respect you and respond to you, then be respectful and kind to us. Otherwise, you're just going to get blocked. And then don't go bitch about getting blocked because nobody wants to hear it. Either be nice and be respectful or stay the fuck off social media.
I wish we could sum that up and put that like on a shirt or something and sell that through your website or something. You know what I mean? Be nice. Be nice and shut the fuck up.
Something about, I think I told you, holidays. I had a guy attack me Christmas Eve, and he made me cry. And everybody else and some friends, took up for me and actually got him kicked off Twitter. And I don't even know what the guy's problem was, but he was just saying mean, hateful stuff, just tweeting it. And then, of course, Valentine's Day, some guy, I didn't know. I have no idea who he is. I think he was a guy. I never saw his page, but we were in a relationship, and I didn't know it because I've never spoken to him. And he had said Happy Valentine's Day in a tweet to me, and I hadn't responded because I hadn't been on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter all day, every day, looking at everything. And I only can get 5,000 notifications in a day, so I don't get everybody's messages. I get a lot more than 5,000 in a day, so that's all Twitter will give me. So I'm not trying to be mean, and also I don't have the time to sit there and respond to everybody. I can't do it. But so he said he had an imaginary relationship with me, so he started going down my followers list and attacking my fans. And that's just crazy ridiculous. I don't know what it is about the holidays, but if it's the fucking holidays, don't go on Twitter and try and talk to porn stars. Leave them alone. Go fuck with an atheist or somebody. Leave the porn stars alone. They didn't do shit to you.
Tweet Kanye West. It'll be a lot more interesting for all of us.
Yeah. Go tell him you want to shove a big old fat cock up his ass, and make him squirm. Everybody would get a laugh out of that.
You'll give him $53 million to do it and get him out of debt.
Well, you know what? He might not suck a dick, but he'd damn sure hold it in his mouth for that much. No, he'd suck it.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us tonight and kind of explaining, how you got into the business, and we hope to see more in the next coming years, and hopefully these first 9 months were successful for you, and then you continue to have much success after that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't go off too much. You got me on a kind of sore subject. Gotten tired of being attacked by strangers that I don't know, on
That's
social
what
media.
We're here for at MMB Radio. We're here to get everybody to just kind of, we're kind of like Dr. Phil, but not as serious. Just get your shit out there in the open and let everybody hear it, and let everybody just, make their own observations afterwards. But like I said, we really appreciate you.
Oh my God, I know. Now everybody knows that I was only with 6 guys when I was married. Everybody's going to be like, no wonder your marriage didn't last.
Well, you know what? The good thing is they'll never know it unless they listen to the podcast. I'll never tweet it out. You'll never tweet it out.
Oh, you know what? No,
that's how we get our downloads up. You got to listen to the podcast.
I tell you what, I went and read books on the male anatomy and how to make a guy have an orgasm from a blowjob better, and what spots to hit and squeeze, and how to make my pussy grab a cock. And I read all the technical stuff and watched DVDs. So I made myself get really fucking good at it like anything else.
Well, that's not all the books I've read about doing podcasting, but
I am good at it, I promise.
Well, hopefully someday we all can say we bared witness to this. And like I said, it was really cool talking to you tonight, and much success to you.
Thank you. You're a wonderful radio show, and I'll continue to listen, and be sure and tweet out to all my fans and followers to continue to listen to your show. It was great. Thank you for having me on.
We appreciate it. We'll talk to you real soon.
Bye. Hi, this is Raquel Sultra, and you're listening to Mixed Master B on MMB Radio.